Okay. Okay. I think we're gonna have a new link. Is it this? Is this the link? I don't know, man. I don't know. Does this? Nah. 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 Do I gotta wait for... Does not support... I think I've now uploaded 3 videos. How long's my delay? Not long? Okay. Is anybody here? Jesus. Jesus. Hello? Is it working? I changed it to low latency, ultra low latency, 1080p, so it's no longer 1440p, and it looks like the delay is about a second. So, knock knock, who's there? Fast? Fast who? I mean, I don't see that long of a delay on my end. If you still haven't heard me, much better. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, the resolution's going to be a little bit lower. It just kicked everybody who was watching out of the stream. It restarted it under a new link. Yeah. I guess if people don't want to come back, then they probably weren't watching anyway. Maybe I can find a way to shove both these videos into one. Or I'll rename the other one part 1 and we'll call this part 2. You'll let the crew know? Okay. Well, I think it re-announced it in Discord already, so... So that one's kind of nice. Yeah, we might do the over the shoulder. I really like this one too. I asked her to look down there because... Oh, that's right. There was like a fire truck or something going by and she was looking at it. So we'll grab those. Now, these were at the top of the stairs. They seemed so much brighter on my phone. We'll grab, I don't know, like one of those. One of those. That just, again, feels like a portrait to me. Not modeling as much. That feels a little more model-y. The chin up. I did ask for the chin up and then the chin center. And then, but that's out of focus, so we're not going to star that one. And then the chin down. Is that out of focus? That's out of focus. Okay. I asked her for a silly face. We did get a silly face. And one of those. Oh, and I told her to roll her eyes at me. That's right. I said, roll your eyes like I'm being ridiculous. Now, I wasn't sure with this railing. I wasn't sure because it was blocking part of her body, which probably isn't the best thing for a fashion or modeling shoot. But I really kind of liked the angles. So I'm going to grab that one. We're getting a lot of light bounce here, too. You can see it like really lighting that back wall up. That feels, again, like a portrait. That feels more model-y to me. I really liked it when her arms are just hanging off like that. We can crop that in. That'll look good. That's a different angle than we've gotten from a lot of these. Ooh, that shoulder up. Now, see, this is interesting. I got to remember this. This shoulder up thing, that's huge. Do you guys notice that? Oh, okay. Thank you, Quan. Thank you. Okay, I just saw the notifications going off there. But just look at the difference. Shoulder down, shoulder up. I need to take a note. If you're watching this, like, you tell me. Tell me in the comments. Tell me in chat, I guess, too, if you're here. But tell me which one you like more, because I really think that shoulder up makes a huge difference in how this shot looks, because otherwise it's practically the same shot. But a little bit of arm roll. So I got to remember that when I'm having somebody pose like this again. These probably aren't going to come out so great. I'm going to have to use a high grain. I might end up doing them like black and white just because there was not enough light for what I was doing. I think I'll leave those off. We did make it up to the roof. I think I needed a little bit more body on this. See, this is what I was saying. I was trying to get her without just cutting her head off to get the whole skyline, but I'm not a good photographer. That's all it is. This was a poor photography shot. This is a bright ass flash. We can make that work. That one will work. That one's a little too straight on. That one, the dress is off center, and I don't think that would look the best, but I think this definitely does. That face, look at that face, man. Speed Racer, how you doing? I am doing some photo editing. So I went and did my first ever photo shoot today with a model. And we are going through the photos. We're culling them currently. We're picking the ones we want to keep and we're getting rid of the rest. And then we are going to edit those and then I'm going to deliver them to her. But it's not something I felt like would really, I don't know, be that cool on Twitch. You know, it's not Rocket League. It's not video games, not what I usually stream. So I was thinking I'd just do it on YouTube, you know, because I feel like people here on YouTube are more likely to stumble across something like this and be like, hey, I've never done a photo shoot and I'm doing my first photo shoot. I wonder what it's like. Well, here's somebody who's a complete idiot, who's never done anything like this before, doing it for the first time. And you get to see my experience and like where my struggles were, what my problems were. And if you guys have any questions too, feel free to ask. Fun fact, I am a photographer. I mostly do landscape. Like this was probably my favorite shot from recently. This wood shot I did recently, but I do a lot of landscape. I love doing astrophotography and it is coming up on astrophotography season again. So I'm going to be able to do some stuff like this. It's going to be pretty awesome. But right now I'm just getting some experience working with models. Now, this chick, Selena, she hopped up on this railing. All right. Now, one of the things I saw in a YouTube video before I went and did this was don't ever ask a model to do something dangerous. Okay. Because you don't know what they're comfortable with. Like, don't tell her to go stand in traffic or walk along the fucking railroad tracks or something like that. Like, be respectful of the people you're working with. Okay. Common sense. So I thought it would be a cool shot if she hopped up here, but I didn't want to say it because we're 7 stories off the ground. And I'm looking down, messing with my camera, and I look up and she's just like, just hops up there like it's nothing, just casually to wait. And I'm like, you're fine with that? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, you're not scared of heights? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, then let's do this. Thank you. Thank you, Kulu. Thank you, Quan. Let me fix this. I'm back. Rip Cam, unoriginal name. How you doing? Yeah, Speed Racer. How you doing today, man? So this, like I said, you take your first shot and you expose for the background, which is, you've noticed I didn't do on a lot of these, and it didn't pay. Like here, I was still exposed for the background, but I didn't expose for her, even though I was shooting with no flash here. So I really butchered that, but I did grab this one, right? Oh my God. Did I at least grab this one? I at least grabbed that one. Okay. I missed focus. Let's grab that. God, that would have been a perfect shot, man. Tell me that face wouldn't have been a perfect shot. Why is my camera missing focus so much? Oh. Oh. What if I just sharpen it real hard? What if we're sharpening? Detail, sharpening. No dice. Okay. Well, God damn it. I'm sad about that. That was... Sorry, I'm at a loss for words because that just angers me. These are not very fashiony. These are very portraity. These are very portraity. So I did some wide angles with her. I tried to do some like around the corner angles. That one's going to be pretty cool, I think, too. The tippy toes. Did I fucking miss focus? How come I missed focus on all the good ones? There's tutorials to refocus? Okay. I don't know how you would refocus. Magic? I bet you AI could do it. You can find an AI thing. This one will be good. That one should be good. That one cuts to darkness fairly early, but we'll grab it anyway, because we might actually be able to make that work. And we'll grab that one too. Okay, cool. So that's... That's it. All right. Can we do... How do we sort just down to... What's it called? Starred? Noob photographer. Basically, man. Basically. All right, so I said it at the beginning of the first video. I guess some of y'all are just coming in because I guess it didn't actually announce in Discord when I went live. So I'll say it again in case you're just seeing this video. This was the first photo shoot I have ever gone out and done with anybody. I have done 3 weddings up to this point. I just got into photography about 2 years ago, and I've been trying to learn as much as I can, as fast as I can to get good at this. But I have not worked with any photographers. I've not worked as a second shooter. I've never worked in the film industry or anything like that. I have no experience working with any professionals at all. Everything I've learned has pretty much been from YouTube and experimentation. And I actually kind of prefer that, although it would really help if I remembered the modeling stuff, because I watched a good 50 hours of just like how to pose models, and it all went out my brain as soon as I got there. And yeah, a lot of people had told me in the YouTube videos to bring a list on your phone of like pose ideas and shit like that. And guess who didn't? Guess who was like, nah, man, I got it all figured out. It's all just right there. Yeah, no, I got this. They're not super out of focus. Okay. 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 How the fuck do I sort just starred? There's a way. I know how to do it in the other in Photoshop Classic or Lightroom Classic, but I do not know how to do it. I guess I could sort by star rating, and that would cut off all the ones at the end that are unstarred. Why is that one not starred? Oh, because I didn't like the dress thing. Are any of these starred? Everything from there in is starred. Okay. Well, see what I mean? Like this one compared to the last ones, I think we're going to unstar that one. We'll take that one off. And where are we in this list? Oh, we're back here. Okay. So we left that one off. We left that one off. Oh, we left all these off. Okay. These are all unstarred. This one I already edited. I didn't even star it and I edited it. Let's at least grab it. There's got to be an easier way to do this shit. To show flags and labels in the thumbnail cells of the grid view. So there's the grid view. Choose view. View options. It's probably some other view panel. Not there. Let's go like that. Are these actually sorted by star rating now? Oh, they are. Okay. Okay. So starting with like this one. And then working left should be the ones we're going to keep. And then all of these are the ones we're not keeping. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Quan. Grid view. Grid view tab of the library view options dialog box. Select flags and tint grid cells with label colors. A YouTube stream. Yes, sir. A YouTube stream. Casey, how are you doing? All right, I kind of want to start at the high end here. Let's start at the high end of the photos and work backwards because I feel like they'll be easier to edit once we know we've got some like solid keepers. So let's start here. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. We'll go like that. Bring those shadows up a little bit to bring the background detail in. Need to bring the highlights on her face down just a touch. Okay. I think something about like that. And just crank that contrast. Those whites. God. Just blown out. But I want to bring them up just a little bit for a little bit of fashion. I'll bring those blacks down so it brings out the black in her dress. And then we'll get into some skin retouching. You never watched any of the show? Dude, Better Call Saul was actually pretty good. I ended up liking it quite a bit. I really ended up liking Better Call Saul. I didn't think I would because I wasn't a big fan of Saul in the show. But turns out it was actually pretty freaking good. Whoops. Oh, come on. Not the Windows button. Tablet time? Yeah, let me grab the tablet here. Huh? And hopefully this thing works. Oh god, it's backwards. Okay. Is there a way to flip it? Or is it supposed to be oriented? Because if I go this way, it's inverted. Which is really, really strange. Let me maybe try plugging it in. To my USB port thing. Is that? Okay. Christ. I have too many things. Yeah, there we go. God, I really got to get used to doing this. What is it? Oh, I keep hitting the button. Wait, did that not? Why does it keep getting bigger? I have not gotten much experience with this yet, Quan. So, and honestly, I don't know how to erase because I want to make sure I don't blur out her tattoo here. You kept hitting it? I gotcha. Yeah, let me try this out. Oh my. To be honest, I haven't used this pad a whole lot just because I have had a hell of a time getting used to it. But I am happy to give it a shot, and I'm happy you sent it to me, Quan, because I feel like if I were to get used to it, you know what I mean? It would be so worth it, especially for that finer detail, like right in here. If I could just get used to it. Plus, it feels like it's treating like both monitors as one screen. So I have to be on the very edge of this one to be drawing this stuff. Grab that. Just clean up this edge. The mouse, because I don't know how to do this with the thing. So what we're doing right now is we're cleaning up her skin tone a little bit here. Obviously, it looks really red. God, yeah, there's like a bunch of holes there. Sorry, it's just so much. I'm so much more used to doing it with my mouse. And just doing those little edges, because it's also feathering a little bit there. Control Z and bracket keys are your best friend? Bracket keys. Ah, okay. And Control Z is undo, I'm guessing. So I'll grab this here. We'll get the leg. We'll just come back around. We'll use this to get the mane, and then we'll come back around and clean it up. Yeah. Better Call Saul, though. That was a good show. Yeah. Good old Control Z. Universal. Universal in its application. Maybe we can just go up like that. About like that. Okay. Let's make sure we get right in here. True, 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 true. Right in there. Yeah. Make sure we fill that in. Now, just to take a look at what we're going to be doing, why is this not shutting off? First of all, let's just run that along there. That'll be okay. Edging for me seems to be so much easier with, dude, why in the fuck? Why are you not? I bet you. I bet you it crashed. I'm going to shut it off. If you had both monitors, just one, I could see there being settings. I've really got to take some time and just fine tune it. You know what I mean? Like, I just got to take some time to get used to it. Am I frozen again? Oh, no, I'm not. I just look frozen because I stop moving frequently. Yeah. So 2-to-1 says, oh no, I still see my brush lit up. Okay. Now are you going to function? Oh, look at that. See, suddenly the buttons will work. So if we get in close on these skin tones, just to kind of take a look, if we detexture the legs a little bit and we add a little bit of clarity to the skin, that sort of smooths out those bumps. We don't want to dehaze. Dehazing always fucks up the colors. And you want to be careful with any sort of color adjustment. But we could actually take all that texture out of her thighs right there, make them look super smooth, just silky smooth. Clarity. Oh yeah, that cleans it up pretty nicely. Let's make sure we get in here on these details too. Aquan, I don't mean to offend you, but I'm going to use my mouse for now, just for speed and comfort. I still do want to learn this, and I really do appreciate you sending it to me. And again, if you hate me for it, you can have it back, and I will send it to you. But just for the time being, I've gotten so used to doing it this way. So we're going to just swipe in there, just because I got a lot of pictures to do, and I don't want to try to learn it while, you know, streaming and everything. Bring this up in here. There we go. The cool part with just messing with like clarity and texture is it's not going to mess with any of the colors. I mean, you may notice it's making the skin just a little bit different of a color, but we can always adjust that. That's always easily adjustable. So we'll take these arms, just smoothing out these skin tones pretty nicely. Because she has great skin as it is, but, you know, no models are actually human. Once an editor gets a hold of them. What if I just took it all over her skin? I mean, honestly, it blurs the tat a little bit, but that's a lot of work to try to cut in there. And I really think at this distance, you're not super going to notice that it's not like really textured. I mean, when you start getting out here, not really going to notice that it's blurry. Oh, it was lagging for the stream? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Stream bitrate of 4,500. Why do they do that? That's so weird that they just... Says it's going smooth now. So let's hope it's working. Whoops. Wrong window. Probably taking a lot of CPU just doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And, you know, of course, this editing process is pretty intensive for a computer. Because all of this is getting writ to memory. Task manager time, right? We're starting to get there. Is it still, if it's still buffering, let me know. And we can try to do something to fix it up. Also, I have music on over here, but I don't have it playing for stream. So if you feel like putting music on for yourself, you absolutely can. I just figured for a YouTube stream, I kind of wanted to listen to some actual music, and you can't listen to actual music on YouTube. So I really wonder if this is going to look ridiculous. I'm just curious. I've never tried editing in little patches of skin like this, and I'm trying not to hit the hair. Too much anyway. Of course, I didn't want to hit the tats either, but it's far too late for that. We'll pull some of that off her hair. Honestly, a lot of this shoulder texture isn't going to show up anyway. So I think, anyway, we'll go about like that to the clumpiest part. And just make sure we get in there, because we don't want any like little not white spots, but you know what I mean, like little brighter spots poking out, because that'll make it really obvious that the editing's been done. Like that right there. This is the most, what's it called? Tedious part of photography, I'd say. And that's why a lot of photographers won't do a lot of editing. Yeah, so you're not going to notice any detail loss on the hair there. So let's get here. She straight up got hair in her face. So if we take this across here, this might be too smooth. I might do a separate mask for the face, just so she doesn't come out looking like a, I don't know, wampus. Whatever a wampus is. You don't want to look like one, that's for sure. Because that might be just a little too smooth for face skin. We'll back it back out here in just a sec and take a look, but I just want to make sure there's not glaring holes, because glaring holes will definitely make it look worse than it is. But if we take it right up to the eyeball there, let me get her nose. Just about like this. I don't know, man. That might actually be okay. We'll see. Let me just back it out here. Whoops. It does make her skin look pretty smooth. I think we're going to have to do the whole face just to see. So we'll hit the whole thing. You don't think it'll be that nice? I honestly don't either. Or you mean like initially? Like even without the editing? Because, yeah, I mean, some of these we may not go this hard on. You know what I mean? Oh, if I mess up, I gotcha. Yeah, it probably won't be. Got to be really careful with the eyelashes. And we'll just get in here. We'll also take this over to Photoshop. Just so you know, we'll take it over to Photoshop, and we're gonna do a bit of spot removal and that sort of stuff too. So there'll be more done on this before we go on. This is definitely a time-consuming process. Probably like 40 minutes a picture, so I'm probably not going to get them all done today. God, her skin's looking good, though. Let's get all the way up in these eyes. Maybe not that far. Right up in here, though. You know, when I first got into photography, I was like, man, so I wonder what the tricks are to do all this. It's like, yeah, the trick is you fucking do it one small step at a time, one hair at a time, one brush stroke at a time. There is no like magic button you press that just solves all this for you. At least yet. At least not yet. I mean, they are working on stuff. There are things that make this easier probably than I'm doing it. And I'm willing to bet there are probably better ways to do what I'm doing. But it's working for me. So, you know, if you're watching this again and you're like, oh my God, this guy is fucking insane. What is he doing? Well. Yeah. Take this here. I'm mostly just trying to match colors. You know, I'm just seeing some colors here and there and just. This might look awful. I'm seeing some harsh lines. Let's actually take that whole section off. We're going to take that whole section out. What is this looking like? Google editing AI. Yeah, we need some of that. Yeah, it just looks unedited there. Okay. And we'll take this up to the hairline. Because it'll kind of blur in. You know what? Let me grab a little bit of a feather there too. I will just let it feather into the hair. Gently. Gently. Gentle feather. There we go. That's that model skin. And then we'll just take this and we'll hit right in here. I think maybe zooming in that far was a bad idea because you actually can't see what's even necessary. You know? Just doing a bit like that. And then if we zoom out, honestly, it's starting to come together. Get this arm. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Let's cut the feather. I don't want any feathering right now. They keep flashing warnings at me for the stream. So if it's buffering for you, I apologize. But let's see here. Just get these edges. I don't have a lot of experience in Photoshop either, so it's going to be a little interesting going in there to do this, to do the final editing touches. But, oh my God, let me hit the O. There we go. Now we can actually see what's going on, because we already know what it's going to look like. So now we can just really tell what's working. Get that spot. Oh my God. Probably not right in here. Save that hair. Right in there. Cool. Oh my God, Casey. See, you would not edit this much if you were doing high school senior pics. That's one thing. Second thing, I would charge a lot more for high school senior pics if people wanted this kind of work done. I mean, editing to this degree is generally like $50 an hour or something is like the going rate if you want to pay somebody to do what I'm doing. They'd do it better and faster than I would do, which is why I'm not charging anybody any money at all for what I'm doing yet. All right, so here's my philosophy. I plan on doing 10 free photo shoots. That's my goal. I'm going to do 10 free, and if I'm happy with where I'm at, then I will start charging. But until then, I just don't feel that it's right to charge anybody. So I will likely take more. More. That's right. I decided to just go over the tats, didn't I? I think I did. Well, let's just hit it. Let's just hit it and see what happens. Let's turn the overlays off. Okay. Yeah, let's just go straight over the tat and see how it looks. It honestly doesn't look too bad. They look a little more faded. I might be able to crank up the blues there, and that's probably what I'll do. I'll crank up the blues on her skin, because she doesn't have a lot of blue in her skin tone. I don't think anyway. And as a result, she should just have her tattoos pop out. Theoretically. We'll get there, but theoretically. Those hands might be a little too smooth. Or not. Honestly, don't know. Honestly, don't know. Let's back it back out. Let's just grab this little patch right here too. And this little patch. Okay, the big reveal. That's the big reveal. I think right there, it gives her skin a nice radiant glow. Frankie boy, what up? Turn up in Tijuana. Yeah, Casey, I would be charging a lot of money if I was doing this for senior pics. But I eventually want to do more portrait shoots, more stylistic modeling portrait shoots like this. I definitely need to I definitely need to spend some more time studying poses and putting together, because see, like I said, I think what a lot of people do is they put together like mood boards, and you go out there with like pose lists, and also you meet with you talk to your client beforehand and you figure out exactly what they're going for, what their outfit's going to be. You can get so much other stuff figured out. You know what I mean? Before you get to the point of shooting. And because I literally didn't know anything when I started, when she first contacted me, because see, I had no intent of doing any modeling shoots anytime soon. She reached out to me, and when she asked, I was like, well, fuck yeah, of course. I mean, it gets me moving. But yeah, I hadn't planned on it, so I hadn't really put a lot of time into studying how to do this. And so I'm coming in fairly fresh without many preconceptions on how it's supposed to go. I like how it covers her nail before it covers her finger. That's fine. I might go back over her nails, but they might stand out a little bit too much if I do that. So get that spot. Go like that. Like that. Get the nail. All right. Picture's really good. Well, thank you. Thank you. She was a great model. She was a great person to work with. Even getting the nails. Thank you, Quan. Thank you for shouting it out. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the details, man. So we did her whole skin, face, arms, hands. Now her eyes pop quite a bit, but I'm going to try a little technique that I've seen before. Not sure what just happened. Did that actually? Yeah, it did. Oh, we never hit her shoulder. We got to get that shoulder. We almost left without finishing. And by left, I mean moved on to the next set of masking. So we'll just bring this in here. I'm doing this one a little bit more sloppy, just because I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. I think I'm just getting a little too perfectionist on the other one. So we're just going to kind of fill in. And as long as it looks even, we'll be okay. As long as it's not like streaky or anything, it should be just fine. Oh. Yeah. Looks just fine to me. Fine, just fine. Red lady. Native American. Yeah, no, it's just a handy feature in Lightroom, so you can see what areas you've colored. Another technique that people use is they'll instead of turning that on, they'll just turn the exposure all the way down. But that looks freaky to me. It's like disturbing to see this when you're painting somebody's face. So yeah, I don't do that. I didn't really get her neck at all. We'll just hit it real quick. I mean, it shouldn't matter at all in here, but whatever. We're here. Okay. Now we're going to take a new brush and we're going to grab her eyes. No. Okay. Yeah, this is a new one. And we're going to crank up the exposure this time just to show you what that one's like. And we're going to hit her eyes. Hit her in the eye. Go about like that. Now let's make sure we get this one too. It's hard with her hair right in the way. But hopefully it comes out looking okay. I'm just going to try to make sure we at least get the whites there. Okay. So we'll do that. And now we will grab the clarity. See that difference? See how it makes her eyes pop a little bit, a little crisper. Make sure we get all up in there. There we go. A little crisper, and then we're going to add some texture to really sharpen them up. And then what if we dehaze? No, dehazing ain't the one. Also, I think whites usually doesn't do what you think it will. It makes their eyes like unnaturally white. So we might just pop the contrast just a little bit. And then we want to bring out the shadows. And then we'll take a step back and see how that looks. So where's my hide button for this? I don't know how to hide it. Either way, I think that makes her eyes pop a little bit more. I guess you can scroll back and see if you wanted to, but I think that looks pretty good. So let's grab the vignette. And then we're going to clarity it up a little bit. What is dehaze? Nah. Texture. Too sharp, too soft. Okay. I mostly just go through and play with these. Mostly. Just to kind of see. Did I get her leg with the brush? I don't remember getting her leg. But honestly, that looks pretty good. Let me see. Just with a couple filters. Because that's how you can really make it dramatic. You take something like that. I really like the vintage, the warm contrast, and the red. I like the red lift matte for me, personally. I just really like the colors. But what do you guys think of like that? Or should I just give them to her natural, you know, and let her do her own filters? Because some of these could get like super stylized, you know? Or maybe I'll send her a couple versions of each one. See, like the cool matte looks really good if I was to pop up the contrast, or not the contrast, but the brightness. Like, let me do cool matte real quick, and then just like really bring that exposure up, and then maybe not. Maybe not. Something about like that. And then like bring out the white. Now the whites are what's doing it. You thought it looked better before the edits? Okay. Okay. How do I undo the preset? Natural? Was natural what I was... God, they just look so fucking good, man. All right, I'll post the stylized ones on mine. I'll give her the natural one. How do I undo white clipping, undo orange saturation shift, undo orange saturation, undo exposure, undo apply preset. So just something like that, huh? Just give her the natural base one. All right. Let's go ahead and create her folder for her. Dude, why is my computer running like this? Is it really? $69% GPU on a fucking 1080 Ti. Woo! At OBS using 60% of a 1080 Ti right now. You get it, OBS. You get it. I think her name's Mookie. It's in a weird font, so I have a hard time knowing for sure. All right, there's one. One done. Let's go on to number 2. So you guys really liked this one. Let's bring that exposure up. God, the yellows in the skin. I have got to find a way to get rid of that. It's got to be. I mean, it is the oranges, but. Yeah, I don't notice a difference on that one. Either way. Thank you, Kulu. Thank you. So this one looks a little easier to hit with that brush. As soon as the computer's done dying. I'll go ahead and go like this. Let me go ahead and just bump the texture down to begin with. It really doesn't need that much. And we want to leave a little texture in her skin, if possible. Just because you don't want her to look like a complete robot, you know? Let's hit that feathering again since we're going around the hair. Just really want to smooth it out. I'll take them into Photoshop later, I think. We'll just try to hit the main edits here on the stream. And then I'll figure it out later. But yeah, her skin looks just about flawless here. I mean, honestly, I may just back this all the way off and just do some blemish removal. I'm just kind of curious. Just kind of curious. Probably creating more work for myself. But curious. It might not be necessary on every shot. Especially when you're working with somebody so good. Just hit right in here. Right across there, right in there. All right, we kind of crushed the corners of her mouths. Why is this not painting in here? Is it painting in there? It must be painting in there. Is it painting in there? It is absolutely painting in there. Maybe it shouldn't be painting in there. No, we want it to be painting in there. I think. I try not to get too much of the eyebrows because you really don't want fuzzy hair on somebody's face. It makes it like super obvious that it's been edited. Look at those fucking eyelashes though. Look at the length of that lash. Damn. Oh my God. Like that. Sorry, I'll check chat here in just a sec. Just want to get this. Whoops. Dude, I keep hitting the Windows key instead of Alt. Biggest fault of mine. I'll make sure we keep those crisp. And of course, can't have the whole neck done. It's not what we're going for. Not at all. And we did leave a little bit of space here. I guess we'll fill in that. We'll zoom out. Dude, yeah, that's too soft. Let's bump it to like that and then the clarity down. just to like there. It's a very subtle difference, but that's all that's needed. Dab on them. Anyway, what are y'all up to tonight? Kulu, how's your face, dude? I believe you mentioned earlier that it was swollen and puffy from the self-strikes. Or the bee stings or something. It's the bee stings. When you get as many bee stings to the face as this man does, I mean, honestly, I don't even know how he functions. The more I leave this on this, the more I love this. Let me slouch back here a little bit. And if we were to cut this to a 4x3 and do this 2 different ways, dude, fucking wasps. They're such shitbags. Absolute trash. We go like that, and then we bump that contrast a little bit, and then we pop the highlights just slightly and bring the shadows down, and then bring the whites down just a little bit. And the blacks look good. I'm going to bring the vibrance down a little bit overall, and then I'm going to selectively bring it back up. We're going to grab the blues. And sort of bring them to life, and then lighten them up a little bit in the background. Or do we want to make it dark? You do some like super deeply saturated blue sky nonsense. But more natural is probably the way to go. The filters, some of the filters though, just don't look good unless you color adjust correctly for them. Drop the exposure a bit. I mean, I have it like 2 stops overexposed already. This is as shot right here. How you doing tonight, Cosmic? Beer wasp shows up. See, another option is, Cosmic, I can do something like this. This is a trick I learned in landscape. And actually I did this recently, but if you do like this, you drop a little circle on them. Huzzah. Like so. Let's just bring it in. Bring it in. Like that. Let's get that feather nice and high. And then if we just exposure like that. Something about like that. Just make it hit her face. It's a little off. Doing well? Nice. Yeah, Quan, I've been stung by so many things in my life. Mostly bees. Bees and wasps. But, yeah, let's go ahead and punch this right here. We'll bring it a little bit, because we want to be able to see the fade off on her shoulders. But we definitely want to make sure it lights up her face and her chest and maybe the top of her knee, like that range. So if I do something about like that. And then I don't want it to be so far off. So we'll make it 0.8 difference. So that way it just pops a little bit more. And if we crank it back up to 1, maybe not all the way to 1, maybe 70. Something about like that. I still got to clean up her skin, but let's just finish that out real quick. And we'll just take that over her shoulders, her arms, just smoothing this out a little bit. Just like on the last one. It's a little easier to do here, is less work being done, so to speak, so it's less intensive. And plus all the skin's in one place, so I can literally just like mass paint it. Just go across all of it at once. I might separate these layers though. I might put like another layer just on our arms and legs, but I might just go through it too. I might just go through it and do the like spot removal, blemish removal things. I know on stream at 1080p you probably aren't even noticing a difference here, but it all adds up. This is something I noticed with watching a lot of photo editing videos, is you don't notice any individual change so much, but when you see it all together, it's truly noticeable. And yeah, let's just take a look. I'm gonna get there, and we'll take that off, clean that up. About like that. Fuck you. Get out of there. About like that. Do not want all that hair. Sorry, I keep like going, all right, I'm just gonna draw one more stroke and then I'll look at chat. And then I don't. Dude, I'm gonna just all of you. Bees definitely don't like me. You know this. You know this firsthand. You witnessed how bees feel about me. They see me as an invader, not a friend. Always. They always see me as an invader. Boop, 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 boop. I think I'm going to hit in there anyway. Whatever. Oh my God. Right through there. It's amazing how much you miss. Like, I went over this once already and I really thought I'd got everything. Like, certain I'd hit every spot solidly. Turns out, no. I think that's hair. Well, like, whoops. And it doesn't have to be super perfect. Oh my Lord. How many times do I got to hit the Windows key? Doesn't have to be super perfect. I hope, anyway. So something about like that. Okay. And I think I reduced the vibrance a little too much. The vibrance actually makes her face pop quite a bit. But the highlights seem high. So we're going to... I know what I'll do. I will grab the brush. and I will drop the highlights on the brush like that. And then on the overall picture, we can bring those highlights back out like that. So it all balances out. So the background's more highlighted, the foreground's less highlighted. We're going to drop the color of the sky too just a bit, because I don't want to make it too powerful back there. And we'll make it definitely more on the white side, but then we'll saturate it just a little bit more. Okay. Focused noise reduction. Maybe I can do a lot of things with the Adobe Suite. You're gonna hop out? Yo, Casey, thank you so much for hanging out while you did, man. You have a great rest of your night. I know it's kind of a weird, boring thing. That's why I'm doing it over on YouTube. But yeah, I'll be back on streaming on Twitch tomorrow night. Plus, at the rate I'm going, I don't think I'm going to be able to do very many pictures tonight. Because I think I started at like 10. It's already 11:30. And I've literally done 1.5 pictures. So why were the people hiring me? They were doing patrols through the smart park. I was in this parking garage. And yeah, they walked by one time while I was sitting in my car for an hour and a half or whatever. And she showed up and I hopped out of my car and I went. Yeah, no, this is literally how it went. Okay. I'd forgotten because I was so nervous because I was on the phone with her and trying to figure out where she was and stuff. Okay. So they were walking by my car, like patrolling because the top floor of the parking garage was closed. And I had told her we would meet on the top floor of the parking garage. I'm like, it'd be beautiful up there. We'll go up there, get some shots of the skyline and everything out there. It'd be awesome. But it was fucking closed. The top floor was closed. I don't know why every time I go to a parking garage anywhere in the country, the top floor is always closed. I've never, okay, that's not true, but almost never in my life have I gone to a big city and the top floor of a parking garage is open. And I really wonder why. You know, part of me assumed it was for like long-term parking or something, because I've seen that too, where they're like, nah, unless you got a permit for the local residential building, you can't park on floor 10, you know, just you're not allowed. But they had it chained off, and I'd seen some other people go up there and skateboard. I mean, they went up there on skateboards. So I was on the phone with her. She was on a different level. The thing was set up really weird. I was on level 9, and the next level, the next sign I could see down the ramp was 7. And she's like, I'm on floor 8. And I'm like, there is no 8. There's 9 where I am, and I can see 7. What do you mean? And apparently, like, depending on if you come in on the east-west side or the north-south side, you're on a different floor tier. So we're literally in like disconnect. So I had to go find which staircase connected through to her side, which isn't all of them. All of them don't connect. Like each staircase doesn't stop at each set of floors. Anyway, we linked up. We went back to my car. I pulled my camera out of the car and I turned around and a cop was fucking standing there. And they're like, yeah, are you guys planning on doing photography here? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, you can't do it here. You're supposed to park your car technically and leave immediately after parking your car, and there's no loitering. And so, you know, there's some other parking garages, and I'm like, I just drove all the way here for like an hour and a half and then waited an hour and a half. Like, can we have like 15 minutes? And she's like, you can have 15 minutes. So she gave us 15 minutes. We ended up being there like an hour. They never came back by. And I shit you not, as I'm walking around this parking garage, we came across at least 4 other people doing the same thing. Like literally with lights set up and professional cameras and shit like that. I'm like, where the fuck do all these people come from? There's photographers in like every corner of this building right now doing modeling shots. Like, where the fuck am I? Anyway, apparently I wasn't alone, and the cops in Portland, Oregon are probably a little more concerned with like Antifa and terrorists than a dude taking pictures in a parking garage. So yeah, it was very interesting. And as you may notice, we may have snuck up to the top anyway. Might just have been a little rebellious here and just done it. You know, just gone up there anyway. So I think, what is that line on her nose? Oh my God. What is happening there? Wait, what? Why did that make a new one? I clicked this one. See, this is why you got to go back through on all your photos. It is so worth doing. Because if you miss something like that, man, that's going to look so dumb. About like that? Okay. That nostril, too. Let's fix that. You wouldn't notice it at first, but you will definitely notice it if you look twice. And I'll definitely be giving these another once over before I send them off to her. But her eyes are just so bright. You can see the catch light hit them there too, which is what you're kind of going for. I made that when I removed the shading from her face. Wow. Okay. Okay. Go me. Go me. All right. I'm going to call that one good for now. If I come back to edit it more, I'll come back and edit it more. So let's hit this one. We're going to crop this one. Actually, I know somebody would be looking at this and give me shit for cutting off her feet. So I'm going to cut off her feet deliberately. And be like, I would have got her whole leg in there. You know, like if you're going to get her foot, you got to get her whole foot. Well, you know what? There you go. We cut her off at the fucking shin. You happy now? We took away her boot. Now you don't even know she's wearing heels. It just looks like she's wearing long black socks. Ruined. No, it's not ruined. But either way, this was a really poppin' shot. I kind of liked this one. Bring that contrast up. Let's actually hit the point curve on this one. I'm going to take that up. Take that down. We'll bring the contrast back. Might be a little too strong. Might be a little too strong. Because the blacks are already... I like how it's hitting the reserve parking there too, along with her. So I think it kind of brings the image into focus a little bit more. I think I'm going to crop it just a little tighter. Something about like that. That way there's not as much space on either side. And then we'll hit... the whites. Bring the highlights up just a touch. Let's actually bring the exposure up a little bit and then those highlights back down. See, I just worry about the shine on the skin, but I can always drop the highlights on the skin later. And honestly, I think, all right, so I'm learning as I go here. I'm thinking one of the things that I should do when I'm doing these is maybe edit the photo for the background. Just like when I, shooting with flash, like you want to expose for the background and then light up the front, like I said earlier. Maybe I should set the background up how I want when I'm doing the actual photo. And then since I'm going to go over all her skin anyway, I can do that how I want separately. I'll definitely be throwing a vignette on it. Because I really want to draw it in on this one. I mean, so probably do like a pretty hard vignette. I mean, I might do like a manual vignette as opposed to this kind of thing. Like if I go something about like that. Hello? 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 Oh. That all did stuff. Okay. Let me try that again. We'll go like that, and we'll just drop the exposure down. Something about like that. And then we'll bring another one in over here. About like that. And then one up from this side. I prefer to do manual vignettes just because you get a little bit more control over it. And we'll grab this one and actually bring this one down even more. You can kind of cut your angles to your subject this way, I think. So something about like that. And then again, I got to get those. Cosplay? Huh? Anybody up for some you know, Star Wars? Star Trek? Hola, what up, man? How you doing? Give it some framing? No, fishy? Ain't feeling that? Pink girl ain't doing it for you, huh? White balance. Indeed. Yeah, the white balance would do it, but it would fuck up the background. But yeah, you are right. Like, I think just overall, she's a little too warm. But I don't want to make it that cool or that red. And I don't want that green in there. That's actually just perfect on the green. Right there, maybe. And then if I pop the vibrance a little bit. Saturation, not so much. Saturation can stay where it's at. I think we don't want to over vignette it either. Clarity. I like how that makes that shadow pop just a little harder in the background. So I'm going to pop the clarity here and the texture, which will help out the objects around her. And then I will bring the shadows down so that it kind of crushes that back there a little bit more, softens it up. And then the blacks. And then we're going to go over her skin. What is this? What up, Reason? How you doing, man? It's not so warm here. Yo, well, I'm doing a editing session for a photography shoot I did today. So, or a modeling shoot I did today. And so, this was my first modeling session. And I'm glad you decided to join me. Even though it's mostly just photo editing and bullshitting. Yeah, I was super happy with how it came out, though. A lot of these pictures actually came out pretty good, I think. I don't know if they're necessarily modeling shots, though. This was the thing. Like, I've watched so much on doing modeling and working with models. And editing modeling shots and posing people are models and posing people are non-models. And I got up there and everything in my head went out the window and I didn't prepare. That's the basics of what happened. I just didn't prepare properly. So I need more feathering. Why are you not feathered? Be feathered. Be feathered. And also, you fill that in. There you go. There you go. Oh my God. No, but fill it in. Because the elbow is obviously going to be a pretty textured spot. So for reducing texture, we probably don't want it like drastically different just in one sudden spot. You know what I mean? All right. Bring that around. So yeah, I'll show you the first two shots I did after I get this done. I think I'm going to try to keep her nails alive this time because I got a little bit more room to work with. Little bit more. Sorry, these very detail-oriented tasks on streams are so hard to take your eyes away from. It's just so easy to get sucked in, staring, not blinking, just Focus. Why not in Twitch? Well, generally I can do higher quality streams over here. I was having some problems with it earlier. And YouTube keeps telling me literally every 2 minutes since I went live, YouTube has been telling me that I'm streaming wrong. But it's not really a Twitch thing. Like I'm trying to connect with more photographers and help more photographers on YouTube than I'm trying to connect with photographers on Twitch. You know what I mean? And so I am streaming today, and I mean, in the sense that I wanted to go live and to give me, you know, people to talk to and stuff while I'm doing this. But yeah, it just didn't seem like something that most people who watch me on Twitch would enjoy. So I figured I'd keep it a little separate. Watch, YouTube gonna be the new? No, YouTube not gonna be the new norm. Definitely not gonna be the new norm. For certain types of things, yeah. I mean, you know, I'd much rather do photography stuff over here. I'd much rather do like cooking streams over on YouTube than Twitch. Podcasts, things like that. You know, content that isn't gaming. I really like YouTube just for the quality. Oh yeah. Let me show you the first two. So this was the first one that we just got done editing. Oh my God. Okay, what? So this is the first one. This was the second one. And I'm not 100% satisfied with this one, so I'm probably going to come back to it, but I just can't put my finger on what I need to fix. Probably a vignette. Everything needs a vignette. You know, just brings your eye in a little bit more. Just like real hard. We'll hit it with a hard vignette, and then we'll give it like a hard feather, or a real soft feather, but what? No, like a hard vignette with a soft feather. Something about like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. And we just moved on to the third. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to do all of these tonight. I've decided. Like, there's just no freaking way. We're on the third photo after an hour and a half. Like, it just ain't happening. But we're going to try to do as many as we can, or go as long as we can until I get tired. So I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to shut that overlay off, and let's see what we can do to fix things. So if we brought that down and the texture a little bit, it smooths it out some. We'll leave that alone. Highlights down. Highlights down just a touch. And then not saturation. That ain't going to do it. We'll do the white balance. Nah, but it makes her look fucking gray. The hard whites on her face. It'll get cleaned up. We haven't touched her face yet. We haven't gotten that far. Now I have to go to bed. Yo, Fishy, thank you so much for coming by, man. I appreciate it. Just YouTube also works. Focus exposure drop her left side, and it should balance out nicely and reduce the glare. Focus exposure drop? I mean, like, specifically go like that. The problem I have with that is the skin tone change as it gets darker. I don't think the exposure is going to do it. We need to find a way to reduce the yellows in it without making it blue into purple. You know? Because when her skin starts looking like an avatar, we start having problems. I could dehaze. Just a touch. Just a slight touch there. I think that does it, actually. Just a real little bit of dehaze, because that honestly looks fine to me. And let's just hit this whole face real fast just to see. Because I over textured things because the wall and all that. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got a extra lower texture because I over textured because I wanted the wall to look really grungy. So I know this isn't perfect, but it at least gets the idea across so that we can see the coloration on the face. Actually, so that counterbalance kind of works. If we dehaze and then oversaturate, it brings out her natural skin tones a little bit while removing that yellow. I feel like there's a better way to do this, though. If I just temp shift like 6? No. 3? 3 maybe there? Yeah. Seems to soften things up just a little bit. She's got beautiful skin tone. So I really think it was probably either my white balance setting in camera or the angles I was shooting at that really caused this. We're going to make sure to clean that up because I can visibly see the wall being messed up. Okay. The mocha. Caramel. Over texture things. Can you blame a guy? Can you blame a guy? All right, let's move on to the legs. Yeah, it's pretty amazing what modern technology can do. Also what it can show, because, you know, as we're going over this, I hope nobody looks at her and is like, oh my God, like she's got bumps everywhere, because trust me, we all do. You just do not notice until you get under the fucking microscope. Oh man, we are ugly creatures. Not ugly, but you know what I mean? Like yeah. Yeah, I have a perfect example of a picture of me that I realized, because I thought my skin was flawless, man. I'm like, I am so fucking smooth. I am a sexy individual. I've got like a 14-inch cock. I'm just really desirable to most adults. And then I took a few pictures of myself and I was like, yeah. No, it is modern glamour shots really do not represent reality. And this is kind of why. I mean, because so much editing takes place nowadays. But she truly was a beautiful woman. And I want to make that clear. Which is why I'm going into so much detail on this particular topic. Probably shouldn't have brought it up at all. This is what you get, you know, first photo shoot, just foot and mouth. Immediately. Insulting everybody and then like re-insulting others. Almost certainly insulting everybody. Oh, there's no coming back from this. We're going to just call my career donezo right now. That's it. Nobody's ever hiring me. We'll just delete this video. Then nobody will know. Like I said that last time too, and then I didn't. All right, we'll get that in there. Up in there. Just cut that down like that. And I've gone quiet. How'd you like that? How'd you like that moment of silence? Did it feel good? Did you feel relief? Do you feel better now that you've experienced that? Moments without rambling. Entire moments. Entire moments. Okay. There's definitely a difference in color in her legs and her arm. It's got to be the highlights. I don't know which way I'm going to go with it. Contrast ain't the way to go. What if I decontrast the shit out of it and then saturate it? It does bring it back, and it brings it back a little more evenly. Ooh, and it really makes those tattoos pop now. That saturation. That's what I was talking about earlier. Maybe a little too saturated. I think, well, no. I mean, is there such a thing when it's this? Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, the underexposure darkens her. Yeah, see, messing with exposure just in general in contrast to a background. Bring that texture way down and the clarity down just a little bit more. There we go. Lemon Ray. Frankie boy. Oh, it's the dehaze. That's what it is. So we'll bump the dehaze back up. And we'll go about like that. And I think it's a little too bluish. Something about like that feels good to me. So there's three. There's 3 pictures out of 100 or so. I don't know if I'll end up editing all of them. Let's just do a couple of my favorites real quick. So let me take a look. I mean, those were some of my favorites, but let's do one of these. There's that one, there's that one, and there's the funny one. I think we'll do the serious one. So we'll drop that contrast a little bit. We'll bring those highlights down. We'll bump the exposure up. I want to bring the whites up this time because I want that reserve parking to really pop. And then we're going to bring the blacks down a little bit because this one's going to be more of a drama shot. And we'll lighten up the shadows because you don't ever truly want it to be completely black, I don't think. And where's my... Oh, there it is. You enjoy YouTube more? Honestly, man, I don't watch very much Twitch anymore. So that one's pretty poppin'. Is she Latina? I think she might be native. I didn't ask, but she's from New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So might be Latina, might be native. Just smoothing things out. A lot of skin smoothing, I'm noticing. There's got to be an automatic way to do this. I bet money there's like a way to auto skin smooth. I'll have to figure it out someday. Someday. Maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. But I really appreciate you guys who came by to watch this. If you're watching it live, if you're watching it not live, if you stuck it out this far, you are a true supporter and you should be subscribed to this channel. Because if you're not, I don't know how you found me, you know? Like, what brought you here if this wasn't it? Probably could be the Satisfactory. Could be the Kerbal. Could be the Skylines. A lot of people came from Skylines. Dude, that background just is popping with her. I really like this shot. This was one of my favorites. So I definitely wanted to do this one on stream. Bring that up there. How messed up is it? Not too messed up. It was pretty good for guessing. Pretty good for guessing. Focus. Sorry. It's all the fine detail. It really just sucks me in, man. Cause I gotta go like full predator mode, you know? Just like full dialed in fine detail. Don't want to mess it up and have to redo it. Or have to notice if I mess it up, more importantly, because if you mess up, you know, you gotta like know to go back and fix it. So like that. There we go. Because there's nothing worse than coming back to a photo and just being like, what did I do? Oh my God. Oh my God. Just in there. Just in there. Just around there. Just up there. Yeah, I did a pretty good job for doing that blind. I got to give myself props. Got to give myself props. Yeah, I like that, man. Our other line of work here. Let me post her Instagram. I think it's like Mookie_Queen. I do hope. Oh, she got 2 E's. She got 2 E's. So this is the stuff she had done previously. She's got, she's got better photographers than me coming out, dude. This is the thing. Like some of the pictures she had done were fucking truly better than what I'm doing. I don't want to look. I don't want to look and compare. I'm just going to beat myself down. But, yeah. You know, I'm learning my style, okay? It's literally my first time. Literally. Let's grab the picture. Let's crank up that texture. And the clarity. And then we'll go back to the brush. And we will bring that texture and clarity back down so that she really pops against that crunchy background. This is the thing, though, when I make the background crunchier and her hair and clothes and everything crunchier, it really starts to show every little missed spot on the skin. So I definitely want to make sure I get all those spots. I like that. Did that come through? Were you able to click on that? This white line on the bottom of her boot. If I bring the dehaze down and then the blacks up, nah, not that high. I definitely want it to be almost gone. Almost, but not completely gone. And we'll bring the highlights back up because I think that makes her eyes pop a little bit more. And I think I'm going to go with that one. I love the texture of the background. And the reserved parking, like, I don't know. That's probably a terrible modeling shot, but we were there, you know? My picture's the highest. You think so? Dude, no. Those other look at that last picture she posted. That's fucking incredible. Look at the lighting detail. He's a much better photographer than I am, that's for sure. And then the one with her like squatted down posing, that's just like a dope pose. That's a super awesome pose. I'm a big fan of those. These are a little more like dressy, classy, I think, but yeah. I don't know. I got to give props to whoever took those previous ones for her. Sincerely. All right, what else do we got here? What are my other like top tier favorites? This one, I really kind of like this one because it's got like the girl next door vibe to it. It's got that like girlfriend vibe. Not to be creepy, but you know what I mean? Like it's got a very, like you can picture yourself standing, you want to picture yourself standing here with a girl like this, you know? All right, maybe that's still creepy. I don't know. How do you say compliments without being a fucking creep? How do you do this? Yeah, the one with her posing of the graffiti. I like that. That's a good shot. Like I know it's not as heavily edited and stuff, but it's a good shot, man. It is a good shot. I got to give props to whoever did those photos with her. The guy who did those photos with her has way better equipment than I do. Like way better equipment, like thousands of dollars more in equipment than I have. So like it's kind of easier. I'm not going to say like, oh, he bought his way to success, but it's a little bit easier if you can just put a light everywhere you want to put a light with whatever color gel you want on it and then just stand them how you want to stand them. I was going for more natural flowy poses because that was what a lot of the YouTube videos I talked about, you know, like, hey, why don't you just like turn, lean here and look up, you know, and as she's doing it, I'll take the picture so that it's never like her holding the position and then me taking the shot. So all of these were in motion, which is why a lot of them didn't hit focus, you know. This one with the glasses. I don't know where to cut this. I honestly don't even know how to crop this. How would you crop this? If you're watching this right now and you care to participate, if you don't care to participate, that's fine, but just curious. Should we get her more inside? Should we get her more outside? I mean, we could cut it to like here and just really get her looking up at that top corner. Cropping is a weird thing because you could also bring it down here and get more of the body shot. Like instead of looking at what she's looking at and guessing what she's looking at, now you're looking at her and wondering what she's looking at. It creates two totally different perceptions for a photo. And this is why I love photography, because I didn't see photos that way when I first started doing photography. I couldn't understand why some photos looked better than others or what it was about photos that made them look better than others. And even I'll say this too, like even when I get out there with the camera, I don't know what's going to look good still because I just don't have the experience. But here in editing when I can just stare. I'm like, nah, like that's one entire vibe. And then this is one entire other vibe, you know? Like, what is she looking at? Dude, a Lambo drove by while I was leaving town. There was a Lambo chasing like an Audi R8 or something like that, some kind of other Lambo looking car, being followed by like a Dodge Charger and somebody in a BMW, like a 500 series BMW or something, 700 something. I don't know. It wasn't like a regular BMW. Uh no. No. If I had found somebody with a Lambo, man, that would have been dope. But the question was, which way do you think this photo should be edited? Because there's a lot of different ways to go about it. And like I was saying, you know, you can, like, it looks pretty good just as is. It's like a good neutral shot. But if you crop it in like this, it sort of creates the perception of like, you wonder what she's looking at, you know? When you're looking at it from here, it's like, you kind of want to look or wonder. It just hits your brain. It hits your brain in a sense of like, what's she looking at? Whereas if you do a shot like this, it's more of a, you're looking at her and you like you're glancing at somebody who hasn't noticed you yet. It's got like a different kind of vibe. Like, hey, I'm watching you because I can't take my eyes off you, kind of lovey feel. And I don't know why. I don't know why it gives that vibe to me, but it's got more of like a, yeah, I don't care what you're looking at. I'm looking at you sort of feel to it. And I don't know which way to go with it or either way. I mean, cause you could literally crop it this way too, you know, and just get like the headshot and be like, it's a headshot. Check that. You know, there's all kinds of different options for how you go about trimming these. And I'm never sure. I think I'll leave it neutral for now. Cropping the lower bottom. So a little higher view. So going for like this sort of thing or more centered. Something like that. I mean, that puts her eye at the right spot in the frame. So you think something about like that. I almost just want to take it over here. I really do. I do. I just kind of like how, I don't know. I can't find words for it. Just how, right? You know, like, yeah, no, I get it. I just get it. I feel it. You dig? All right. I'm glad you agree. I don't know if you're actually agreeing. I could have just stiffed you. We could bring down the exposure. Cosmic suggested that on an earlier shot, and I think that is the way to go about it. We might bring the highlights down a little bit, and then maybe this time the whites. Oh, no, not the whites out. Maybe the whites down, and the highlights back out just a touch, and then the exposure up just a touch because we want it to draw. Ooh, you know what? No. We'll drop the highlights back down. The shadows back down a little bit. Bring those blacks in because we want it to like darken up through here and here and here. We'll grab that texture again. Because we want to not draw attention to the backdrop, but we definitely want to let people know that backdrop's there. You know, this backdrop is part of the scene. So let's grab all this and then just something about like that. And just smooth the skin out. Make sure we don't hit the eyes. You do not want to hit the eyes. We're back to the painting, so I apologize. I'm going silent as I whack out on this. Is whack out the right word? Or is whack out like a innuendo? I feel like I might have just innuendoed. Plus, this kind of keeps the texture in her lips, which I really kind of enjoy. I don't know. I'm going to bring that feather up here and just kind of feather it off through the edges of her hair, because I don't want her hair completely mashed out up here, because it looks unnatural right there. But also, if I don't feather it in there some, it really looks pretty stark. So I think we'll go about like that. I could always Photoshop that out. We'll go right in through there. Yeah. What do you think? I get zoned in? I do, man. Gives me Shrek Lock Princess vibes. Dude, yeah, exactly. It tells a story, man. That's what every photo is supposed to do. It's supposed to tell a story. And I feel like this one tells a story. I mean, I don't know what the story is, but it is being told here. Gotta turn that feather off. Oh my God. Zoomed a little hard there. That's okay. Lets me just make sure we get all the edges just right. I'm going to keep those lips alive. Make sure we aren't getting way off her nose. We can cut that in through there. That around there. Oh, yeah. Zoned. 100% zoned. I'll just cut through in here. See, there's a little bit of texture up in here, so I just want to make sure that we do get that smoothed out, because that will shine through. So, yeah, just, and maybe a slight feather on this. I watched American Psycho for the first time last night, by the way. I did not realize I had not seen American Psycho. I thought I had. It's one of those things that you've heard about so many times in your life that you just assume you've seen it. Turns out no. Turns out the answer is no. I hadn't seen it. Had not. So that was pretty good. If you haven't seen American Psycho, it's basically a story of Donald Trump. I mean, his whole family's in it, so surprise. I mean, is it really a surprise? You're not surprised. I know you're not surprised. You know how I know? 'Cause I told you. I told you you're not surprised. I'm going to try to keep her nails nice and sharp on this one, since I'm already down here doing this kind of detailing. I know I didn't last time on that first one, but, you know, I spent more time on that one. And I'm definitely going to go over these once more before I send them off. I just want to get a couple of them done here. Round it out. Dude, what? Or in tunnels? They are. They are. They definitely are. What up, Cosmic? What did I say? I probably said some shit. I have a bad tendency to do that. I think nobody's listening and I just start talking. It's mostly why I stream anyway. It really has nothing to do with anybody's listening. I just do it. I would do it on my own. Alone in my own room. Oh. Additive, non-subtractive, thank you. All right. Just get that off there. All right. And then we will shut that overlay off. And there we go. Nice, smooth, dreamy. Oh, is it buffering? Stream's current bit rate's way too high. What if I were to just like change the bit rate just arbitrarily and right now? What if I just said like apply 6,000? Doesn't change at all. That swammy guy. I could see that. I don't know who the swammy guy is. I'm sorry. Swarmy? Swammy? Swarmy. Swarmy guy? What's swarmy guy? Oh, Lord. All right, I think I ruined her skin tone. I'm going to grab this and we're going to remove that clarity. Because... Or not the clarity, the dehaze. Because she definitely... Yeah. We don't want to make her look pasty. There we go. I think that's good. See, I'm forgetting what her like original skin tone looked like because the white balance doesn't really do it justice. Let's see. I cranked up the saturation just a bit. What if I were to cool it down just a little? Just like 7, 6, and then just a slight bit more red. I think that actually looks pretty good. We'll drop the saturation back down just a little bit. And yeah, I'll come back to this. What if I were to expose it up just a little bit? Just a little bit. Just bring the exposure up a little bit. What you think? No. Even if we went up about like that and then we took the overall picture and we just dropped the overall picture down to like, nah, that still looks terribly unnatural. See, this is why changing exposure on skin is just not a good idea. Contrast though? Nah. We can drop the contrast a little bit just to maybe smooth it out. Because see, my biggest concern is like a lot of times I'm noticing her arms, her face, and her lower half, the colors aren't matching up. And it's partly because of where my light's hitting her. Like if I'm hitting her directly with the beam, it's going to show like a highlighted, blown out section versus the rest of her body. The spill light's going to like change color as it goes across her. Not change color, but change density, which is going to react differently. Looks good. Yeah, it's a little... It's a little something right now. we'll bring it down about like that. I think because that right there is like perfect for her skin tone, I think. So actually, what if I did the opposite and I brought everything else up and then brought the contrast down on the skin tones just to make it look natural? Something about like that. That's honestly probably the best looking. Properly exposed and all that stuff. I'd call that a properly exposed shot, personally. I don't know, but it wasn't this bright out, you know? Yeah, we'll go about like that. Okay, I have actually not been exporting these. I should probably be exporting these. We'll call that one a 5-star. Was it this one? We'll call that a 5-star. You know, I shouldn't be exporting them because I'm going to go over them once more. So let me go ahead and actually delete those. Pictures. Spring photo shoot. Oh my God, where am I putting these? Was I putting these in sharing? I think I was put these in sharing. Or did I even export any? Have I exported any? Hold on. Large. For sharing. Oh, I had a okay. I see what I was doing. Let's go for sharing. There we go. So those two. Yeah, let me. I did this one too. I really like that one. I don't think I'm going to keep it like that. I think I need to change it up, but I like it. Anyway, guys, that's probably all I'm going to do live tonight. It's already 12:30 in the morning. I've been at this for like 2 hours and I've done like 4 pictures. So I do appreciate y'all who came out, who decided to come out and hang out tonight. I hope you had fun. Hope you had a good time. If you find this in the future, make sure to check me out on Twitch. Yeah, this has been my first photo shoot, and I'm really looking forward to editing up the rest of these pictures. If you like these, let me know what you think so that I actually know if I'm doing a good job or not. So, yeah, check out my Instagram. It's Lemon Pops with 2 Z's at the end. And I will hopefully catch everybody tomorrow night live on Twitch. You guys take care. Peace.